to 0AD Newbie Rush on Mystic Gym TV, the place for all the best 0AD action every week. I'm Jim Kogan, and if you want to see more match replays, commentary and analysis, do like the video and don't forget to subscribe to get notified about all future episodes. This week we have a 1v1 encounter between two relatively new and inexperienced players on a mainland medium map. We have Very rated 1325 playing as the Britons and Isgo rated 855 playing as the Romans. Enjoy! And here we go again. It's another episode of 0AD Newbie Rush. And this week we do have some newbies. That's not a derogatory thing. We have two players who I know haven't done more than 30-35 matches each. And that will be clear from their ratings and some of the decisions they make in this game. But let's check it out. First of all, we have in the north of this, I believe it's a medium-sized mainland map. It looks like the temperate biome. We have Isgo, rated a slightly lowly 855. Isgo is playing as the Romans. In the south of the map, we have Very, who we want to thank for submitting this replay. Very playing as the Britons in the blue, rated 1325. Let's have a look at the two approaches of these two players. So, Isgo, rated 855, has lost a higher percentage of matches than he's actually won in terms of rated games in 0AD multiplayer, which is why his rating is quite low. It can go that way. You can sort of get a bit of a slow start to your 0AD playing and end up being pasted by better players for quite a while. And I think that's what's happened here. Isgo, interestingly, his approach has gone straight for 6 cavalry he's got. And I think he could be attempting a rush at the moment at the north, or I suppose it's the south of his base. It depends which way you've got the map holding up. In this instance, we see Very has sent his attack dog in, and the 6 infantry are going after him. We'll talk about the rest of his development quickly. It's going to take him a while to chase that dog away. He has 4 infantry, 3 women, and another infantry, 1 idle infantry lady, idle female citizen there stood near his base. On food, he's got 4 women, no berry upgrade. Let's just see how the infantry are doing. Sorry, the cavalry. Cavalry are going round the flank, so we're going to see a rush pretty early on. If we have a look at Very has gone for 9 women collecting berries, no berry upgrade, and a further 8 female citizens and there's 4 starting infantry. Building a tower, but building a storehouse to a pretty tiny wood line here. I think he would have been better off going to this one, or possibly this one, or this one. And he has 1 cavalryman going in for hunt around the extremities of his territory. The 6 cavalry of Isgo are stalking ominously. They have some big juicy targets there. Are they going to encounter the cavalrymen first? They are running straight past the CC, and you would expect with 9 women here. Oh, there are some infantry now. He's got towers either side. So that's quite good play from Very. He saw with the attack dog, although I don't think the attack dog got out alive, that Isgo was planning a rush, and he reacted accordingly. He's going to probably get 1 kill here, but in truth, you would say this hasn't been all that successful. He's relocated the women down to these berries here. Very has started mining stone very early. And comes in. Is he trying to capture this tower? Very's quickly garrisoned it with a couple of women, so they're not going to get anything out of that. A slinger has gone into it now, and the little bit of infantry that Very hastily generated there has chased it away. So you would have to say opportunity missed there. 1 kill, and I think that might have been the attack dog. But yeah, with that number so quick, you'd have thought he could have probably done a bit more with that. Interestingly, Berry has left some of his troops idle. Get the moving, Berry. Not a great deal happening. We're seeing sort of huge complex movements. He's dropping off all his wood at the storehouse, and it's all slightly lethargic from Very. A few more idle troops down here. I think they've built houses and have been left. So Very, I think, is a new player as well. Has got a rating of 1325, but in the same way that Isgo's rating is quite low, Very's rating, I think, is slightly artificially high. I think he may well have played a number of players in the position that Isgo are in, and he obviously knows a little bit about build orders, so it's quite conceivable that a new player who's played less than 35 games could get a rating that high if you're selective about your games and you have a good run. I doubt he's probably come up against too many players rated extraordinarily high. It doesn't have that many defeats on his record, but you know, you can only sort of beat new players and boost your rating for so far before the challenge goes, and you need to play better players, and then you basically find out how good you are. Let's look at the populations briefly. So it would appear that Very has got up to a population of 50. We're 5 minutes 40 seconds in, so that's not bad going. 19 are infantry. Just the 1 cavalryman who is... Where is his cavalry? His cavalry is probably hunting. He's got the last of the hunt there. If we have a look at Isco, whose population seems to have sort of stagnated on 30, so he's not producing very quick at all. He only has 5 infantry, so the rest are... There's 6 cavalry who are in the CC. I don't think it was worth healing them, to be honest. They'd barely seen any action. He's got hunt here and here, and here, right inside the grounds of his base. So yeah, I'd have to question that. That seems like dead time, and he's simply not producing. So we are seeing a pretty typical newbie error, not producing at anything like the pace that he should. He's now got 5 women coming out of the CC. He's made a sort of switch to farming here. He has 1, 2, 3, and a 4th field almost ready. Had some women cleaning up the last of these apple trees here, and only 5 troops collecting wood, so he's going to be short of food and wood at this rate. So it's not looking good for Isco at this early stage. So possibly that might account for why he has a somewhat disappointing record in terms of games played. I think it's going to be a question, judging on this, and it varies up to 65 population, 22 infantry. Very plain as the Britons, a civ that can boom quite quickly. If he keeps going at this pace, it's not even going to be a contest, but I think we'll speed it up a little bit just to see. Should we go insane speed for this one? We'll see how they all do. Various population, is he building at the moment? Yeah, he's still making female citizens, so he's going all in for the farming. Has slightly snookered himself in that he's got not much space to expand with farms because he's boxed himself in with other structures. 10 women have come out and has just stood in a fairly idle group. There's one there looks especially bored. So not good practice that, just having them come straight out. But the cavalry of Isgo have come straight back in, and they've... Oh dear, I think they come off worse there. He's lost a couple of horses and got an extra kill, but the population's still only 38. So, and they're going straight back in again. Yeah, don't think... Like I said, I have to commend Isco for attempting early rushes, but we are now, as the game runs, 9 minutes in. His population is a third of what it needs to be. Yeah, he's only on 38. Horses coming out again. They're resuming hunting, are they? Yep. He is collecting wood at the back with lots of women. has kind of taken them off farming, even though he has next to no food. So that's curious. He's building... Oh, he's actually phased up. Both players have phased up. I suppose because I've sped it up and I wasn't paying that much attention. They've both phased up quite early. I would say it's a little bit early to be phasing up. He has gone to phase 2. But Isco, absolutely no point going to phase 2 with less than... I mean, he did it with less than 40 troops. Common newbie error that. It's not a race. It's not a race to get through the phases. You have to do it at the speed which suits the development of your civ and your play and your overall strategy. And I'm not seeing a lot of overall strategy from Isco. He has slightly ramped up his production, ever so slightly, but it's all female citizens. He's not building an army. And if he comes up against an army, of which he almost certainly will, Very has got population of 98 and 53 infantry. So his infantry almost outnumbers Isco's entire population. And I don't know what his horses are doing. They just seem to be running from one end of the base to the other. Is he going to go for another raid? Oh no, he's trying to find the last hunt, completely ignoring the best hunt that he's got, which is actually within his boundaries. From here to here, far better than sending them to prioritise this here. I don't know whether he'll claim this hunt later, but be kicking himself for not doing that. He has focused on metal and stone, but what he needs is food and wood. Hasn't got the wood cutting upgrades, so he's found himself in phase 2, population of 69, 13 minutes down. Started, this wasn't low resource started, this was medium resource. They did have 500 each. Not capitalised on this at all as Isco. I don't like his build order here. He's building barracks that he's not producing from, and is only producing women from the CC. He's going to catch up a little bit in terms of population, but as a fighting force, and women are not that efficient at collecting. And I hope he goes back to metal after this. He sent all of the women there to build this house. It's a tower, in fact. So he's going for towers. Interesting. Is he trying to sprint through this phase as well? Looks like he is. Temple going up. I was going to say, he has sent the women back onto stone, so he's not going to lose that stone. In the meantime, Very is going for watchtowers. He's got a cavalry of his own that are hunting. He's sprung out cavalry of 8. Is he going to do some raiding? Is he going to attack this infantry hunting party? More watchtowers coming down. Is it necessary? I would say a single scout from one of this group of cavalry could go through Isco's base, especially if he got anywhere near here. He would clock something is up by the amount of female citizens that are on the metal and stone gathering. If he came in here with all those troops, there would be a massacre. And he's there is a bit of a fight going on here. So yeah, Isco is now aware that there is quite a large cavalry force just beyond his borders. And if we look at Very, he is ripping through the phase 2 buildings. He has got all the ones down that he needs. He just needs that's about 250 stone and 540 metal in order to get to phase 2. CC, an extra CC is going down right in the middle of the map. This is going to put pressure on Isco, who's being slowly cramped into a small space. More watchtowers going down. So what kind of vision is this affording Very? Well, he's not seeing anything truly significant. He can see the extremities. As a was this a rogue? Yeah, a rogue skirmisher meets an untimely death in the middle of the base there. Very has now gone to phase 3, so I would expect to see Fortress quite soon. Instead, he is building. What's he building here? Cleanly on the building. It's towers, 2 towers, 3 towers now put up near here, and a 4th there. So he's going for a dominant position. He must have an idea that Isco really hasn't got an army. He hasn't. He has only 16 infantry. He's reached a population of 105. 7 of those are cav. They are hiding out somewhere. 3 of them are fruitlessly trying to attack this garrison watchtower, which Very is strengthening anyway, and the remaining 4 are over here not doing anything. He's still got a hunt here. He could be gathering this. There is berries here. He could be gathering those. And in terms of wood, he's still struggling for wood and food. He has fully committed to the farming, but he's working his way through upgrades. He has now gone to phase 3 at least, but its troops is what he needs. He has a huge enemy force building offensive weaponry right on his border. We have garrison tower watching this, and some of Very's troops are getting a bit carried away. I've got to say, it's looking like being absolutely nothing more than a routine walkover for Very here. We have Fortress going up, Hero coming out, and it appears that Very has decided that he has plenty of towers as it is. He's abandoning this one. Interesting. I thought he could sniped a few kills there. I know it's in the shadow of this tower. Very seems very reluctant to lose any troops. In fact, both sides seem to be incredibly reluctant to engage. They're going to have to soon. They are now facing each other, staring at each other over this border. They have towers. Interestingly, Very hasn't garrisoned any of his towers. I'm going to work to the assumption he doesn't think he needs it. He must know that he's not facing an absolutely incredible force here. In terms of infantry, it hasn't gone up since we've been talking for Isco. He's still got population 117. We are 23 minutes in, so that's not great. But 16 infantry, 10 cavalry. You're not going to repel a force the size that Very has built up. Very has pretty much kept pace with the clock. He has 263 total population, 187 infantry, and 22 cav. Has he gone in for any military upgrades? That will give us an idea of how short any battle that follows is going to be. Can I find a blacksmith? Where has he hidden it if he has made one? I think he may not have actually gone for a blacksmith. I think he went for so many towers. He's definitely got market and he has been raiding that. But I can't see a blacksmith, so it's standard troops. Very has got a fortress. Isco's got a fortress down now, and is making all manner of siege weapons and then sending them to places where they're probably not going to see a lot of action. I don't think he's gone in for blacksmith either. But here comes the assault. So we have 3 rams, a whole load of horses, and quite a lot of infantry, although they haven't all gone together. It's a mix of hero, skirmishers, quite a lot of slingers, and a few spearmen. A couple of attack dogs in there. Oh, he's gone for kennels. Not a fan of attack dogs. They're quite good fun, but I find they just tend to die way too easily. But there are a lot of soft targets in there. In terms of deaths, though, Isco is actually killing more troops. Oh no, it's just changed a bit. Now Very is slaughtering troops en masse. It's 68 kills for Very, plays 32 for Isco. His population now back down to 60. So that was significant. I cannot understand why Very hasn't just kept the troops in there. He seems very tentative. We're seeing a little bit of sword cavalry, and he has got a couple of heavy champion infantry. But in isolation, Very has the numbers. What's he building over here? He's now building a blacksmith. Interesting order of doing it. He's got 5 rams. He could send these straight in. There is nothing that's going to stop them. He's got a little bit of... is it ranged cavalry he's got there? Let's have a look. Oh, ram's come back in. He's going to lose that ram though. He's got... there's only 2 slingers and a spearman. it's strange. It's like, rams are good. If you've got a lot of them, send them straight in. They'll cut a swathe through the enemy's buildings. But they're going in, they're knocking down one building and then they're running away. And it's not a focused infantry attack either. You will lose a lot more infantry in small bursts. Admittedly, he is not facing anything like the same kind of size army that he's got. Still, the majority of them are women. And where are they all? Apparently he's got population of 71. And I genuinely have no idea where most of them are hiding. So there's quite a few women there chopping wood. They are very vulnerable. In comes some attack dogs. They're facing off against 3 bolt shooters. So he's cranked out a few... they're going to lose these bolt shooters as well. They're running away. And a large-ish contingent of cavalry comes out. So Isco has got quite a decent cavalry now. But this is Band-Aid solutions. He's making a load of guys, but very seemingly under the impression he's going to face a much larger force. Is being incredibly tentative. He's still focusing on his economy. So not a wholehearted attack, just a half-hearted one. Lots of attack dogs. Don't know if he sent them over here, they'd have a field day. If he sent them in here, they'd probably kill quite a few of these female citizens before Tower, CC, and who's he got? He's got the Hero Cavalry Swordsman. It's Marcus Claudius Marcellus. He'd murder a lot of attack dogs if they came in, and is just circulating his cavalry into his barracks. I can't understand the approach here. He's now down. Very's now down to 3 battering rams. He isn't making any more. He seems to be swarming his troops around them, so they're all getting each other's way, and he's sending them in en masse. I'm not seeing clear targets that the battering rams are going after. Ideally, you want to either send the infantry in and act as a barrier, and then the rams come in and clean up the buildings behind you, or send the rams in first and then take out anything that tries to get the rams with all these slingers and skirmishers that he's got. Instead, he's moved them in kind of together. His own troops are getting in the way of the rams, and the rams can't get to their targets easily. They have captured one of the barracks, and I think the end is going to be pretty near soon. Interestingly, we do have one Roman ram doing a sneaky surprise attack round the side. Whatever it takes out, and it may take out a CC, but Very's even gone for Stonehenge. So it looks like he's trying to see all of the buildings. Now, how long is this fortress staying up? It's got 1 champion unit, a couple of horses, and a swordsman in there, but the building itself has gone. Why not push them straight on to the CC? They're moving a bit more deliberately, and the women over here have been totally slaughtered. I think the dogs did finally get to hammer them a bit. But remarkably, Isco has killed more troops than Very has. He has managed to kill 185. So if Isco had have actually built an army, he's down to a population of 19 with only 11 infantry. There goes the CC. If he had actually built an army, he'd have been laughing right now. He really would have been. Remarkable. What happened to that battering ram? I'm not sure where he got to. I think it's only a matter of time. Only a matter of time till Isco actually resigns here. He's losing everything. He's down to 13 troops. So we've sped it up a bit, but the impression you get is that Isco really didn't know how to manage a build order, didn't know what a good population is. Very had a much, much better idea. And there you go. Pretty much an air of inevitability about that. Very did know how to manage a build order. He was also tentative in attack. And I think that is shown by the amount of troops that he actually lost. Remarkably, he lost more troops. He lost more troops than Isco in wiping Isco out completely. He did raise like nearly over 3 times as many, But none of his attacks were clinical. They were basically weight of numbers and eventually did the business. Let's have a look. So units trained, it was never close. Down here, never even close, and it just widened. Isco does not know how to build a population fast. On the other hand, Very did quite a tidy job. A lot of them female citizens. If that cavalry rush at the beginning had been effective, could have been in a bad position, but would Isco have had the later game to take advantage of that? Don't think so. And if we look at troops lost, right there is quite a pasting. That initial sort of charge and was not that successful. He lost quite a few troops to Very. Eventually, he committed the right amount of troops. They went in for the slaughter, and they began basically killing. They began killing Isco for fun. He had a small population, a lot of defences. He did sacrifice quite a few troops in the process, but he could have won that. With 35 minutes in, we sped it up because not a great deal happened up to that point. But I think he could have won that easily, round about the 18 to 20 minute mark, if he'd have been totally brutal and going for it. So yeah, it's a newbie game. It's a 0 AD Newbie Rush. 2 players. If you recognise, if you're sat there at home shouting, why didn't he charge in faster? Or if you're looking at it, from the point of view that you could see mistakes that you're making in your game. Oh, that's why I keep losing. So I'm hoping there is a bit in that for you to find out and make yourself a better player. It's always interesting watching new players, especially if you look back and you think, I used to make those mistakes. But if you're new to this, hopefully a bit of an eye-opener, and you can see ways that you can improve going forward. But congratulations to Very, another victory. I don't know if it's so good for him to have this many victories and inflate that rating. I think he needs to be playing a lot more players in the 12 to 1300 range, and experienced players too. I think that will really test his mettle a bit better, and he will find out a lot of things about the game that he's not doing particularly well. That will, cost him in a close game at that level. And he will, as a result, learn lessons and improve. But as it stands, probably not learning too much from this game against Isco. Certainly, perhaps he needs to defend a bit better at the beginning, because he was very susceptible to rush. As it was, he didn't have an opponent who knew how to manage a rush. But fair play. I hope both players go forward and get better at the game. Congratulations again to Very. He did it. He got the job done in the end. Thanks for watching 0 AD Newbie Rush. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for regular 0 AD match replays, commentary and analysis. And if you want more 0 AD goodness, check out the video description below. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.